so I think it made the song and the video especially a little more intriguing. Just what you've been waiting for. Movies, TV, music, and more. Follow, subscribe, stay up to date. Episodes drop every other Monday. It's the Matt, watch that. It's the Matt, watch that. It's the Matt, watch that podcast. Welcome to the Matt Watch That podcast, the place for reviews, rants, and randomness. I'm your host, Matt Seroski, filmmaker, film fan. Each episode, I'm going to watch a movie or TV pilot that I probably should have seen, but never got around to. It could be a recent favorite, critic's choice, or cult classic. To join in on the conversation, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, at Matt Seroski. You can subscribe to my YouTube page where I'll post videos and clips from the show. If you have any opinions on what I've discussed, or suggestions as to what I should see next, use the hashtag MattWatchThat on social. Before we start, I wanted to give you some updates on what I've been doing in my personal life. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail because there are a lot of crazy people out there. But I've been working on a novel for many years now, on and off. I have to say that because if I say almost 20 years, it sounds like I'm kind of lazy. But the truth is, the idea spawned 20 years ago, just about. But it's taken a long time to develop. It's simmered. It's like a slow cooker. But if you've ever had one, the end result is delicious. And I think I'm near that delicious phase now. I hired an editor who's been reviewing the project, and she's been really helpful. She's also an author of middle grade novels, which is what mine is. So she has a lot of experience. I think sometimes when you're knee-deep in a project, it's tough for you to have perspective on it, and you need that outside opinion to point out the good things and also some of the bad things. One of the funnier feedback that she had for me was I had a line about my main character thinking his mom was cool, and she was the type to dance at parties and just be outgoing and fun. And my editor said, you know, if I danced at parties, my daughter would think that was extremely cringe. And I sat back for a moment and I was like, yeah, that is 100% right. If any parent just started getting up and dancing at a party, I think every child, no matter how old you are, would feel little chills in the wrong places, you know? But she's given very constructive feedback that I've been working on. And I honestly feel I'm almost at the finish line. And this feels like a major achievement because I never wanted to be a novel writer. I always wanted to write. I always wanted to create, but I've always focused on music, TV scripts, and screenplays. Novels seemed out of my range of creativity, especially when you think back to the ones you read in high school. They all seem very highfalutin and dense. It was actually a huge turnoff to reading and writing, but I'm so glad I went down this path, because what I've tried to explore in the novel couldn't have been done in a 2-hour movie or a 10-episode series. It's probably the most fun I've had as a writer, and it's been one of the most rewarding experiences. So we'll see. The next step is to start pitching it to agents and publishers and see if we can get someone to bite. On to the main attraction. Each review will end with a ranking out of 5 stars. 1 star is skip it, 2 stars watch at your own risk, 3 stars standard fare, 4 stars worth checking out, and 5 stars must see. Now, if I give a title 5 stars, it doesn't mean I'm comparing it to Casablanca, Jaws, or Seinfeld. I rank titles based on other movies or TV series in that genre and at that time period. On this episode of the podcast, I'll be reviewing Deliverance from 1972. It was directed by John Boorman, who helmed sci-fi fantasy Zardoz, horror sequel Exorcist II: The Heretic, epic medieval drama Excalibur, and spy thriller The Tailor of Panama. He's been nominated for 5 Academy Awards between Hope and Glory and Deliverance. The screenplay was written by James Dickey, based on his novel of the same name. He was appointed the 19th United States Poet Laureate and read his work, The Strength of Fields, at the inauguration of Jimmy Carter. It stars Jon Voight as Ed Gentry, a middle-class man who initially feels confident in his ability to handle the trip, However, as the group encounters increasingly dangerous situations, Ed's character experiences significant transformation into someone who must confront his fears and limitations. Burt Reynolds portrays Lewis Medlock, the adventurous and self-assured leader of the group, a rugged outdoorsman with an intense passion for survivalism who convinces his friends to embark on the canoe trip. Ronnie Cox plays Drew Ballinger. He's less experienced in the wilderness, and his more cautious, morally driven nature adds a layer of conflict to the group dynamic. And Ned Beatty performs as Bobby Tripp, the youngest and most naive member. His character is eager to prove himself, but is clearly out of his element in the wilderness. Beatty's performance is pivotal in showcasing the vulnerability and fear of a man who must adapt quickly when confronted with violence and terror. Deliverance also features Bill McKinney, Herbert Coward, James Dickey, Billy Redden, and Macon McCommon. This is something to look out for. The infamous dueling banjos scene was unscripted and spontaneous. So let's jump into it. In the heart of rural Georgia, 4 middle-aged friends from Atlanta, Lewis, Ed, Bobby, and Drew, set out for a weekend canoeing trip in the rugged, remote backcountry of northern Georgia. Seeking adventure and a break from their urban lives, they eagerly embrace the challenge of navigating the wild, untamed Cohulawasi River. However, their idyllic plans quickly turn into a nightmare when their peaceful retreat takes a dark turn. As they venture deeper into the wilderness, the group encounters the harsh realities of the isolated land, including a hostile, violent group of local mountain men. A terrifying encounter leads to a struggle for survival, forcing the men to confront their fears, their limitations, and their moral boundaries. With no way to contact help and no idea who they can trust, they must use every ounce of courage and resourcefulness to escape the deadly situation and make it back to civilization. Here's a quote without context. "Explain this to me again. I didn't know somebody could shoot themselves with their own arrow." Deliverance is a powerful exploration of survival, masculinity, and the fragility of civilization. It delves into the darker corners of human nature and challenges the notion of civilization as a protective buffer, using the wilderness both as a literal and metaphorical backdrop for the breakdown of societal norms. The men set off on a weekend adventure, expecting the wilderness to be a challenge, but not a threat. As they venture deep into the isolated hills, the film gradually shifts, revealing the harsh reality of the natural world, one where laws of decency and respect no longer apply. As the men face real and immediate danger, they realize that their city-bred sensibilities cannot protect them in the raw, lawless environment they've entered, and the film suggests that beneath the veneer of civilization, primal instincts and violence are always lurking, ready to surface when survival is at stake. The theme of masculinity is also crucial to Deliverance. The 4 men embody different aspects of male identity, but none of them are prepared for the brutal violence they encounter. The men are forced to make choices that blur the line between right and wrong. As they struggle to escape their pursuers, they must commit acts of violence, and the film makes it clear that the moral ambiguity of these choices will haunt them long after the immediate danger passes. Deliverance is a tense, gut-wrenching tale of survival against nature's fury and human savagery. As the men's physical endurance is tested, they are pushed to the brink, forced to confront their inner demons, the fragility of their friendship, and the question of how far they will go to survive. Now for a little trivial trivia. During the whitewater canoe scene, Ned Beatty was thrown overboard and nearly drowned, and Burt Reynolds broke his coccyx. The actors had to do their own stunts because the production wasn't insured. Deliverance was produced by Elmer Enterprises and distributed by Warner Brothers. It was filmed on the Jacuta River and Lake Tallulah Falls in Georgia and parts of the Carolinas. The cinematography was captured by Vilmos Sigmund, whose filmography includes war drama The Deer Hunter, western Heaven's Gate, black comedy The Bonfire of the Vanities, and neo-noir crime thriller The Black Dahlia. He won an Academy Award for Best Cinematography of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was edited by Thomas Priestley, who worked on detective comedy The Return of the Pink Panther, supernatural horror Exorcist II: The Heretic, and dystopian film 1984. He was nominated for 1 Oscar for Best Film Editing of this movie. There was no score or soundtrack featured in the film outside of the dueling banjos scene. The runtime is 1 hour 49 minutes. It had a budget of $2 million and grossed $46 million at the box office. It was nominated for 3 Oscars at the 1973 Academy Awards for Best Film Editing, Director, and Picture. On the Ski Index, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. If you've seen Deliverance and have opinions on the movie, let me know what you think using the hashtag MattWatchThat. Moving right along, each episode, I'm going to post clips that I think people should watch. It could be movie trailers, music videos, interviews, or something completely random. Search for my YouTube page and there'll be a playlist called Matt Watch That Playback. Duets in music are performances or compositions involving 2 vocalists or instrumentalists working together to create a harmonious and often intimate sound. They've been a significant part of music across all genres from classical to opera to pop and jazz. These collaborations allow for dynamic interplay between the 2 artists, often highlighting contrasting or synergy between their different styles, timbres, or vocal expressions. Duets can evoke a wide range of emotions, from love and affection to conflict and resolution, depending on the context. The beauty of a duet lies in the ability to showcase both individual skill and collaborative artistry, making it a cherished form in both formal compositions and spontaneous performances. So I'm going to give you a couple of my favorite duets. Now, I'm going to focus more on the ballad front, because as I've said before, I am a balladeer. I'll take a slow love song any day. Now, this really isn't in any particular order. I'll just throw these out there. So we'll start with a classic, Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, Endless Love. It's not only the biggest #1 hit for both artists, it spent 9 weeks at the top, but also clung onto the charts for an amazing 27 weeks. Richie wrote the music and lyrics for the soundtrack tune from the Brooke Shields movie, and recruited Ross to accompany him on the song. In 1998, Brandy and Monica teamed up for The Boy Is Mine. Both artists had notched up top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, but neither had reached #1, just yet. Now, there were rumors swirling that the 2 ladies weren't exactly on friendly terms, so I think it made the song and the video especially a little more intriguing. The song is about the 2 women fighting over a man, perfect fodder for alleged rivals to sing about, and the result was a #1 song that lasted 13 weeks at the top. Next, how about Don't Know Much by Linda Ronstadt featuring Aaron Neville. Ronstadt racked up 8 Hot 100 top 10s between 1975 and 1980. Ronstadt first found duet success with the song Somewhere Out There from the movie An American Tail. Teaming up with James Ingram, the ballad subsequently won the 1988 Song of the Year Grammy Award. For her next album, Cry Like a Rainstorm, Howl Like the Wind, Ronstadt featured 4 duets with Aaron Neville. The first single not only reached #2 on the Hot 100, but it also topped the Adult Contemporary for 5 weeks, and won the 1990 Grammy Award for Best Pop Performances by a Duo or Group with Vocal. I've Had the Time of My Life by Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes will be forever tied to the 1987 film Dirty Dancing. The soft rock hit closed out the Patrick Swayze-Jennifer Grey flick in a rousing finale, and won the 1987 Academy Award for Best Original Song. Jennifer Warnes strikes back, this time with Joe Cocker for Up Where We Belong, another song from a movie, this time An Officer and a Gentleman. The song not only stayed at #1 on the Hot 100 for 3 weeks, it also won both the Academy Award and Golden Globe for Best Original Song for a Film in 1983. And last but not least, probably one of my personal favorites, The Next Time I Fall by Peter Cetera with Amy Grant. The popular song was featured on Cetera's 1986 album, Solitude Solitaire. The duo's harmonies are on point, and it was a breakout song for Amy Grant, who in a couple of years would break through with her own pop solo career. So what are some of your favorite duet ballads? Hit me up on social using the hashtag MattWatchThat, and all these songs are available in the Matt Watch That Playback playlist on YouTube. Check it out. Now it's time for the recommendation. Yes, that's the word recommendation with Matt in the middle. I'm going to end each podcast with my own recommendation of a movie or TV series. Today I'm talking about The Middle. It follows the daily lives of the Heck family, living in the fictional town of Orson, Indiana. The series centers around Frankie Heck, a quirky and often frazzled middle-class mother who juggles a full-time job as a car saleswoman while trying to manage her chaotic household. Her husband, Mike, is a more stoic, down-to-earth factory worker who provides a steady, grounding presence in the family. Together, they have 3 children: Axel, a rebellious, lazy teen; Sue, an optimistic and perpetually awkward high schooler with a strong desire to fit in; and Brick, a highly intelligent but socially awkward preteen who has an obsession with books and odd habits. It stars Patricia Heaton, Neil Flynn, Charlie McDermott, Eden Shear, and Atticus Shaffer as the Heck family. It also features Chris Kattan, Brooke Shields, Brian Doyle Murray, Julie Brown, Jerry Van Dyke, and Norm MacDonald. It was created by Eileen Heisler and Deanne Helene. The series was greenlit for the 2006-2007 season and starred Ricky Lake in the lead role, before a second pilot was ordered which resembled the series we know. The show explores the humor and heart in the daily struggles and triumphs of an ordinary family, tackling issues such as parenting, financial challenges, school life, and the ups and downs of family dynamics. The characters, especially the parents, are funny and imperfect, and they grow and evolve over the entirety of the series. It's a feel-good, comfort TV show. It's reminiscent of Roseanne, but without being overly dramatic or too intense, offering a sense of warmth and familiarity. The Middle was on for 9 seasons, 215 episodes, from 2009 to 2018. That's all for this edition of Matt Watch That. Thanks for listening to me babble. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Matt Seroski. You can subscribe to my YouTube page where I'll post videos and clips from the show. If you have any opinions on what I've discussed, or suggestions as to what movie or TV pilot I should see, use the hashtag MattWatchThat on social. Head over to mattseroski.com for all the latest news and updates, and come back next time for the reviews, rants, and randomness. He was appointed the 19th United States Poet Laureate and read his work, The Strength of Fields, at the inauguration of Jamie Oliver. I have no idea what I'm saying. Ronstadt had racked up 8 hot top 10... They eagerly embraced the challenge of navigating the wild, untamed Kaluhuasi, I gotta look that up, but without being overly dramatic or too intense, offering a sense of warmth and familiarity. Oh boy.